Thank you very much. Thank you. This is actually my third appearance or visit to Istanbul. And in my book, Enchantment, I list the Enchantment Hall of Fame for the most enchanting car, the most enchanting Macintosh, the most enchanting city. And believe it or not, I list Istanbul as the most enchanting city in the world. So I really love your city. So thank you. And this is one of the more enchanting places I get to speak, this facility. This is a very well done facility, so it's always a pleasure to be back here. I'll tell you a little bit about my background. I worked for Apple, as you heard, from 1983 to 1987. I was Apple's software evangelist. So my job was to convince people to write Macintosh software. After that, I started several software companies. I became a writer and a speaker, a venture capitalist, and an entrepreneur. Today, I'm primarily a writer and a speaker. My topic is going to be enchantment, the process of creating this relationship with people that's deep, it's mutually beneficial, it's also voluntary. And rather than try to define enchantment, let me give you a very good example. I no longer work at Apple, but I truly do love that company. And I want you to think about the difference between Apple and most computer companies and electronics companies. Most computer companies and electronics companies, they try to close a sales transaction. You give me money, you give me a credit card, I will give you a computer, or a phone, or a music player. Apple, by contrast, enchants people. Apple enchants you so that you share the vision of Apple with other people. And one of the natural consequences of being enchanted by Apple is, of course, that you buy a Macintosh, an iPhone, an iPod, and an iPad. So Apple is a great example of a company that has enchanted people. This presentation is about the 4 key points of enchantment. Point number 1 that I figured out, if you want to enchant people, they have to like you. Because if you think about it, have you ever been enchanted by someone that you did not like? Probably not. This is a very good example of likability. This is a picture of myself with Richard Branson. We are both in Moscow making a speech. And he came up to me in the speaker's room and asked me if I ever flew on Virgin. And I told him, Richard, I have never flown on Virgin. It's because I'm a United Airlines Global Services level flyer. It's the highest level of United Airlines. And when I told him that I never flew on Virgin and that I'm a global service customer of United, he got down on his knees and he started polishing my shoes with his coat. This is the moment he did that. This is also the moment I started flying Virgin America. So of all the CEOs and of all the people that I've met, I would rank Richard Branson as one of the most likable people. By contrast, with all due respect to the greatness of Steve Jobs, I have never seen Steve Jobs get on his hands and knees to get a customer to buy a Macintosh, iPhone, iPod, or iPad. So just a little contrast in style. Richard Branson, achieving likability. Let me tell you how to achieve likability. The first thing is you need a great smile. This is a Pan Am smile. A Pan Am smile is not a sincere smile. It's not a smile that you truly are enjoying yourself. In this case, the Pan American flight attendant is grinning, using her jaw muscles to act like she's happy to see the passenger. But you know she is not truly happy to see the passenger. This is called a Pan Am smile. It is not a great smile. A great smile is called a Duchenne smile. And this is what a Duchenne smile looks like. A Duchenne smile uses twice the number of muscles. A Pan Am smile uses the jaw muscles. A Duchenne smile also uses the eye muscles. And the key to a great Duchenne smile is that these eye muscles make crow's feet. They make wrinkles around your eyes. So you actually want wrinkles around your eyes. Think of all the money you just saved in plastic surgery and Botox treatments. You actually want crow's feet. This is a woman named Mari Smith. She is a Facebook marketing expert and a friend of mine. And when I saw this picture of her, I immediately wanted to use it for my presentation. So I sent her an email and I said, Mari, I want to use your picture for my enchantment speech. This means that I will go all over the world telling thousands of people about you. That's the good news. The bad news is the reason why I'm using your picture is because you really have crow's feet. Luckily, she's a very nice person and she agreed to let me do this. You want to be likable? You need a great Duchenne smile. Jaw muscles, eye muscles. And I want to show you another example of a Duchenne smile. This is one of my favorite pictures of all time taken anywhere of me. This is a picture of me in your Grand Bazaar. So, I'm not asking you to look at my smile. I want you to look at the smile of the vendor behind me. Right? So, I'm in his stall in the Grand Bazaar. I'm trying on this fez. And you know he's thinking, this dumb-ass American might buy this fez. This fez has been in this stall since my great-grandfather's age. We've had this fez in our inventory for 100 years now. And this dumbass American tourist might finally buy this fez. And look at the joy and the happiness and the enchantment. That's a Duchenne smile. Step one is a great smile. Step two for likability is I ask you to default to a yes or positive attitude. That is, when you meet people, always be thinking, how can I help the person? What can I do for that person? Defaulting to this positive yes attitude means that you'll be much more likable. You may be hesitant. You know, if I default to this yes attitude, will people ask me to do unreasonable things? And I'll tell you, in 25 years of trying to default to a yes attitude, there's only been a handful of times that people have asked me to do unreasonable things. And arguably in those cases, those people were not worth enchanting. When you meet new people, always be wondering and asking yourself, how can I help the other person? It'll make you much more likable. Default to a yes attitude. The second component of enchantment is trustworthiness, because you can be likable but not trustworthy. You could like a celebrity but not trust the celebrity. So the second step is to achieve trustworthiness. And I have 3 American retailing examples for you. Because step one in achieving trustworthiness is that you have to learn to trust others. This is not the so-called chicken or egg problem. There's a definite sequence here. The way it works is you trust others, they will come to trust you. If you wait for the time where people are already trusting you in order for you to trust them, that time will never occur. I'll give you 3 examples. Amazon.com. With a Kindle ebook, you can buy a Kindle ebook and you have 1 week to return that file. In a week, most people could read an ebook. Kindle is essentially telling people, I trust you. Buy a Kindle ebook. You have 1 week to return it if you don't like it. We trust you not to buy it, read it, and return it. Amazon does that. Another great example is Zappos. Tony Hsieh, the founder of Zappos, they have a very unusual business model. Basically, they are in the business of making women trust the company. How do they make women trust the company? One very powerful way is that they pay shipping both ways. So if you buy a shoe from Zappos and you don't like it, Zappos will send you the postage to mail it back to them. You pay postage in no direction. This has caused hundreds of thousands of women to trust Zappos. And these women buy shoes without trying them on or seeing them. And I think that's remarkable. If you had told me that our business model is to make women buy shoes without trying them on, I would have told you, you are crazy. It is not possible to do that. Zappos has done it. And the classic brick and mortar example from America, it's no